Now, I know Utah is not for everyone, but I am telling you today, I am going to be sharing with you 5 reasons why I absolutely love Utah. And if you would have asked me probably, I don't know, 18 years ago, Mariah, would you ever end up living here in Utah? Would you ever end up moving from California to Utah? My answer probably would have been no back then, simply because I didn't know. I didn't know all of the amazing things that Utah has to offer. So today I'm going to be sharing with you just five of my very favorite things. I could go on and on and on, but we're going to stick to 5 and we're going to hop into it right now. Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in the Salt Lake City, Utah area, and this channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If that's of interest to you, consider subscribing down below. Make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you are notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move, looking to relocate, or looking to buy or sell a home here in Utah, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our absolute pleasure to connect with you. So about 18 years ago, my husband and I were living here in Utah while he was finishing grad school. And I honestly remember thinking okay, we were both from Northern California, born and raised and everything up there. And California is great. We both have traveled around a lot. And I remember when we lived here while he was finishing up school, I just remember thinking oh, Utah's beautiful. But we didn't take advantage of all the different things that Utah has to offer. So after he finished grad school, we both ended up taking jobs down in Southern California where we were for 15 years. Well, as life happens and as things change, my husband and I literally were like, I think we're supposed to move to Utah a few years ago. And we both were kind of blindsided by the fact, but living here now the past few years, I literally am every day I just feel super grateful to be living here in Utah. And I'm going to share with you 5 of the reasons that I love, love, love living here in Utah. Number 1 is simply the scenery and the views. We wake up to these incredible views. We wake up to the beautiful mountains and just the gorgeous scenery. Now, I know there's beautiful everywhere. And when we travel and we go different places, we're like, oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. Like you look at California, you're like, wow, the beaches, the mountains, all the things there, and it's just beautiful. You come here to Utah and it's the same sort of thing. The difference between northern Utah and southern Utah and everything kind of in between, the beauty is, it takes my breath away a lot of times when we are outdoors and we're going around and even when I'm driving and I'm going through a canyon and I just am looking around going, this is so gorgeous. And to me, it's gorgeous all year long. You've got obviously the snow-capped mountains right now, which is gorgeous. Then during the summertime, it's usually really, green and beautiful. And then of course the fall, you've got the change of colors and the leaves. So for me, all 4 seasons, totally gorgeous here, and the beautiful scenery, which leads me on to number 2. Number 2 is just the outdoors. I grew up playing soccer my entire life. I went to school on a soccer scholarship, and I've been outdoors. I'm just constantly going, and I love being outdoors, and I love all the outdoor activities that Utah has to offer. And my family and I, we like being outdoors a lot. We love taking our family on hikes. Maybe the kids don't like it as much as we do, but my husband and I absolutely love taking the kids hiking. We will go, we'll explore different trails and we'll go, find a new waterfall. There are miles and miles and miles of bike trails. We take our family on bike rides all the time, not in the winter, but during the spring, the summer, the fall, we go on bike rides a lot, and we love that. The different activities there are for, which actually is going to lead me into number 3, which is family friendly activities, but just the activities that you can do outside. There are beautiful pavilions and the parks are incredible here. The different parks that, my kids will be like, okay, so can we go to this park this day, this park this day? I mean, they literally have names for all these different parks that we end up going to. A lot of times we'll just bring a picnic to the park, sit underneath the pavilion and enjoy just being outside. Oftentimes there are clean bathrooms next to the pavilion, next to the park, which is always a plus. And then there are several parks here that end up having, especially like in the summertime, they'll have like a little snow cone shack next to the park. And the kids think it's the best thing. We go play at the park for an hour. They, get a snow cone, win, 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 right? So a big win for my kids, as they would say, a big win for us because they want to go to the park and they want to go do all those things too. So number two, simply the outdoor activities. There are so many outdoor activities to do here in Utah. It is limitless. And I didn't even touch on the mighty 5 national parks. The national parks are incredible here as well. Not only the state, the regional, the local parks, but the national parks are unbelievable as well. Which number 3, like I mentioned, was the family-friendly environment. Honestly, I've got 4 kids, and having 4 kids, there's, I feel like I'm going in this direction and going in this direction a lot of times. And I feel like Utah is geared for families. Yes, geared for families. Like I said, the biking trails that you can go for miles, the parks, the different recreational activities. If your kids are involved in they are, want to go the baseball route, the volleyball route, the, soccer, gymnastics, whatever it is, it seems like there are so many different levels and different things for kids to do here in Utah, depending on their ability. Are you wanting to go more of the club route? There are so many different clubs for, it seems like, everything. If you're wanting to go a little bit more recreational, there are options for that as well. If you're thinking, oh, you know what, we want to go on the swim team. Oh, we want to do pickleball. Oh, we want to do softball. There are so many different things for kids to do here. And a lot of them, yes, you can travel far for it, but depending on where you're at, there are a lot of great clubs, great sports, great recreation right within lots of areas that you most likely would be looking at if you're thinking about moving to Salt Lake. And then going along with that, the schools. Like, there are a lot of fantastic top-rated schools here in Utah. You've got some really strong public schools, you've got some incredible charter schools, the public school and the private schools also that Utah has to offer are really, really great. And I know, as a parent, safety is super important for me. And this feels like a safe place to raise my kids. My kids feel safe here. And it's been a great fit for us. Again, maybe not for everybody, but those are a few of the things that I absolutely love. The scenery, we've got the outdoors, the family-friendly activities. And moving right on to the next one is simply the quality of life. I feel like the quality of life here in Utah is very enjoyable. And kind of going along with all the, the sports, the recreation, the family-friendly, the quality of life and just the pace of life here. I know from us coming from Southern California, and actually we were just back there a couple of weeks ago, and my kids, we were driving, and of course, we're sitting in traffic and we're sitting in traffic some more. My kids are like, I don't miss the traffic here. I'm like, I know. And they're like, it seems like it should only take us like 10 minutes to get there, but instead it takes us like a half hour to get from one place to the next, just simply because we're sitting in traffic. Here in Utah, yes, there is traffic, and it depends on where you're going and when you're going, but the traffic compared to some other places is, to us, it's been a game changer. And just that quality of life that we feel like we have gotten back just because we're not sitting in traffic all day. I remember I was commuting an hour plus each way, for many, many years. My husband was commuting a half hour plus every day, and it wasn't that many miles away from, work either. So I feel like we've gotten a lot of time back and that quality of life. The cost of living here, yes, has gone up, from where it was before, but relatively speaking, it's a lot lower than some of the surrounding states. So quality of life, the time freedom, just the livability, there are a lot of things to do here winter, spring, summer, and fall. And I know some of our friends that are back in California, they were like, this has been the rainiest season that we have had in the longest time. And in Southern California, there's not a lot of indoor activities to do because a lot of things are outdoors. So when it's raining a lot, you're inside, which is fine. But there are some other places like Oregon. My brother lives in Oregon, and he's always telling me, like, since it rains a lot, it's geared for the rain. There are a lot of indoor activities that, they enjoy just because, the indoor soccer is indoors, this is indoor, all like tennis courts are indoor. Like they have a lot of things that are indoor. Same thing goes for here in Utah because we've got the four seasons, because it snows in the winter. Here in Utah, you've got indoor recreation centers, you've got indoor swim centers, you've got indoor tennis courts, you've got indoor soccer facilities, you've got just a lot of incredible indoor activities. So really just the livability here is one of my favorite things for sure. And like I mentioned, last but not least, is really just all the different things to do. And I know I kind of touched on this with the different things, but honestly, I feel like here in Utah, when sometimes people are like, well, what is there to do? And I'm thinking, like, I don't even have enough time to do all the things that I want to do here in Utah simply because there are so many things to do. I know I had talked about the beautiful scenery and the outdoors and all of the adventure things, but the things to do here that personally my family and I love to do, we touched on this before, but we love going for hikes. We love going for bike rides. We love going to the parks. We love going to the local parks, the state parks, the national parks. Some of the parks that my family loves going, and we have gone back year after year, Arches National Park. I feel like every time we go, we're seeing another arch, and the kids are like, oh, there's Balance Rock, and there's this, and like, they just are so excited to go see Delicate Arch and all of that, and they remember. And then we've taken the kids to Zion. We haven't hiked through the Narrows yet, but I know my husband and I have done that before. But hiking through Zion's is incredible. We took the kids to Bryce Canyon not that long ago too, and Bryce was absolutely spectacular. This last year, we took the kids to Yellowstone, which is not in Utah, but is about 4.5 hours away from Salt Lake, depending on where you are. And the geysers, just the natural beauty there alone. So if you're into the national parks and the proximity of where we are here in Utah is really, really fantastic. So that's another thing that I love here is simply lots to do, so many things to do outside. I have more recently gotten into pickleball. Utah, and there's a couple different facilities here in the Salt Lake area and in Utah County that have, so many indoor pickleball courts. In fact, it is that I'm shooting this right now is one of the largest indoor pickleball facilities in the nation is right here. So if you're into pickleball or you haven't tried it yet, you might want to do that. But pickleball is huge here. And I could go on and on, but just the different activities. So hopefully this gives you a little snapshot of some of the things that I love here, the natural beauty, the family-friendly activities, all the recreation, the sports, the livability here is so comfortable, the cost of living, and on and on and on, and things to do. So if you are thinking about making a move here to Utah, I would absolutely love to chat with you. My team and I help people like you relocate, or if you're looking to buy or sell here in Utah, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our absolute pleasure to connect with you. Take care and have a great one. Bye.